So we've been getting questions lately about the curves in the spine. And so some people believe that you're not supposed to have any curves in the spine because that would be scoliosis. And it's true, there's certain curves that should be in the spine and there's certain curves that shouldn't be in the spine. So if we're looking at the spine side on, we should have curves. So you have your neck curve here. You have your thoracic curve here. So the thoracic spine is all the areas where you have ribs that attach to here as well. And then you have a lumbar curve here that comes here. When you are born, your spine is one big C. As you learn to hold your head up, that's when you start to develop your cervical curve. And then when you start to crawl is when you develop that lumbar curve. And so crawling's super important, not just for cross pattern and cross crawl patterns in the brain, but it's also for developing the lumbar curve. So sometimes people will come in with no lumbar curve and I'll ask them, and I'm usually generally correct, that they didn't crawl when they were babies, which means they never developed these curves properly. And that's when we have to develop that. So yes, we need curves. What we don't want to see is a straight neck or a reverse curve. That's dangerous. It pulls on the spinal cord in a way that's going to create other issues later on. But where we don't want curves is side to side. So if I turn this and you look at it from behind, you want to have a straight spine. All of these spinous processes should line up properly, and you don't want to see this starting to happen. If you have a curve that goes side to side, that's where you start having your ribs hump on one side or one shoulder blade sits higher than the other, and that's going to have a negative impact over time. So yes and no is the answer. Do we want curves in our spine? Yes, we want them front to back properly in the way that they're designed to be, but not side to side.